It's so crazy that my poll numbers go up. Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and your poll numbers go up. When people get indicted, your poll numbers go down.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Trump just confessed on live TV. Yes, you heard that right. The man who spent years denying reality went on national television and practically begged the Department of Justice to take him down.
This was all coming out of the Department of Justice in order to get their political opponent, me. Think of it. Fani Willis came up with this crazy scheme. And a lot of people were hurt by it, too. Very good people, patriots, because there was many people were indicted. But they did this to try and get me.
But if admitting to a federal crime wasn't enough, Trump decided to go after Kamala Harris, criticizing her for something that is dripping with irony when you consider his own track record.
Kamala, who they say has many deficiencies, but she's a nasty person. The way she treated Mike Pence was horrible. The way she treats people is horrible.
So here's what happened. During a Fox News interview, Trump casually claimed that he had every right to interfere in the 2020 election he lost, because in Trump's world, breaking the law is just another Tuesday. He actually said, and I quote, "Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering in a presidential election where you have every right to do it?" Now, let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer absurdity of that statement. Trump might as well have handed the Department of Justice a gift-wrapped confession. Legal experts were quick to jump on this, calling out Trump's on-air confession for what it is, evidence that could land him in deeper trouble. Trump isn't just flirting with danger here, he's diving headfirst into it. Former federal prosecutor Joyce Vance made it clear there's no legal right to interfere in a presidential election. None. But when has Trump ever let facts get in the way of a good self-own? And the Department of Justice? Well, they're definitely paying attention now. Trump's little confession could be the final piece in the puzzle of these ongoing investigations. Imagine being so clueless that you think saying, "I had every right," makes you innocent. The man's practically begging to be prosecuted. And for once, I think we should give him exactly what he is asking for. But wait, there's more. Just when you thought Trump couldn't dig himself any deeper, he goes and attacks Kamala Harris for something he's far guiltier of. In the same interview, Trump decided to label Harris as nasty and accused her of treating Mike Pence horribly during the 2020 vice presidential debate. Let's break that down for a second. Apparently, standing up to someone who interrupts you, like when Harris said, "Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking," is considered horrible behavior in Trump's playbook. But we all know what Trump really means when he calls a woman nasty. It's his go-to insult for any strong woman who isn't afraid to call out his nonsense. Harris, much like Hillary Clinton before her, refused to play Trump's game, and that just eats him up inside. Here's where the hypocrisy really hits home. Trump is criticizing Harris for being rude to Pence, the same Pence that Trump practically threw to the wolves on January the 6th. Remember the "Hang Mike Pence" chant? Yeah, that was on Trump. He literally incited a mob against his own vice president, but now he's upset because Harris wasn't nice to Pence. You can't make this stuff up. And just when you think it couldn't get more ridiculous, Trump doubles down, calling Harris vicious for her questioning during a Brett Kavanaugh hearings. This from the guy who regularly insults anyone who crosses him, men, women, veterans, even war heroes. Trump calling anyone vicious is like a pot calling the kettle black, only this pot is trying to burn down the entire kitchen. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony revealed that Trump didn't just let the "Hang Mike Pence" chant slide, he repeated it.
Conversations in the Oval dining room at that point, talking about the "Hang Mike Pence" chants.
That clip ended, Ms. Hutchinson, with you recalling that you heard the President, Mr. Meadows, and the White House counsel discussing the "Hang Mike Pence" chants. And then you described for us what happened next.
I remember Pat saying something to the effect of, "Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the vice president to be effing hung." And Mark had responded something to the effect of, "You heard him, Pat. He thinks Mike deserves it. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong."
So Trump's mad at Harris wasn't nice to Pence, but he's fine with inciting violence against him? This goes beyond the line. It's dangerous. Trump's behavior isn't just about throwing stones from glass houses. It's about tossing grenades and hoping nobody notices where they come from. And let's talk about Trump's base for a moment. These are folks who, despite all evidence to the contrary, still believe that Trump is their hero. They follow him with the sense of a jaywalker, no matter how many times he leads them into a disaster. It's like they're playing a game where they keep getting hit by cars, trucks, and steamrollers, but they just keep getting back up and hitting reset. But here's the real kicker. Trump doesn't care about these people. He's pardoned guys like Steve Bannon and Roger Stone, crooks just as slimy as he is, but he wouldn't lift a finger to help his own supporters who stormed the Capitol on his orders. If you're still in Trump's corner after all this, you got to ask yourself, what's he done for you lately? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like he's just using you for your money and blind loyalty. It's time to stop giving Trump a free pass. He's not above the law, and his latest confession should be the final straw. The man's a walking disaster. He admits to crimes on TV, attacks women for being strong, and incites violence while playing the victim. It's not just embarrassing, it's dangerous. And if we don't hold him accountable, we're just letting this bully continue to wreck the playground that we are all playing on. Trump's actions and words keep unraveling his own defense faster than you can say witch hunt. His hypocrisy knows no bounds, and this latest confession might just be the final nail in the coffin. The Department of Justice is watching. Are you? Lock him up already. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.